So Connie's back.
Yes, sir. Excited for him. Did a great job of while Joey was taking the team reps throughout his time, the first 3 weeks of the season, preparing on the side, rehabbing on his own, being a consummate professional, and did a great job with that. And excited for him to continue in progress to see if he's ready to go this week.
What are you looking for from Fairbairn to make you comfortable? As far as will you watch him here pregame warm-ups, see what his distance is, and could it be shorter since he's coming off a hamstring?
Yeah, I don't think that you're going to put a player out there that can't perform to the best of his abilities on any phase or role being asked. And if he's going to go out there and be our kicker on Sunday, he's going to be ready to kick whatever his range is. If he can kick it, from 75 out, then we'll kick from 75 out. We'll expect him to be at full capacity if he's out there being our kicker on Sunday.
At what point will you know if he's fully ready to go?
Yeah, just got to continue to progress throughout the entire week and make sure that, coming back off of an injury, especially a kicker, that same repetitive motion, making sure that it's feeling good with no soreness as you can recover it day in and day out. So, towards the end of the week here, to answer your question.
Do you think Roberts is pressing to fumble 2 times?
No, I don't think the pressing is the right word with a guy like that. Just, we have to do a better job as a entire special teams return unit to everybody win their matchups across the board, whether it's a kickoff or a punt return, and have those guys, relative to the punt that comes off the foot, have those guys, when it's our opportunity to take it, when it's our opportunity for a catch, when it's our opportunity to bring it out of the end zone, etc., make those plays count. We have flashes. We got to be consistent and improve in that phase.
What did you see from Fairbairn yesterday when he was full pads going, and what were the things that you noticed from him there?
Sure, good set yesterday. Looked good, felt good after, and was able to push through his leg and not cut it loose, not hold anything back, and then again not getting sore after that or whatever. So feeling good at this point with him. Yeah, so Heath Farwell, coordinator, this guy pumps those guys up. Former player himself, he does a great job of playing. You can see his passion for football. Okay, if you take schematics off the board, this guy is high motor, he is tough, he played hard as a player, energetic, never stopping on any individual play, and that's how his unit plays. These guys are tough, they fly to the football, they are high energy. You can see the sideline from the All-22 tape. You can see that the tape reflects the energy that they're coaching with, and across all phases. They're finishing blocks, they're rushing hard. Those guys are flying down on kickoff coverage, making an impact tackle, things like that. So whenever we go up to Buffalo, we better make sure we're matching that energy and that enthusiasm, that effort on a play-by-play basis.
It seems like game management has a lot to do with how you look at field position and possessions. It's like how do you value personally field position versus possession and kind of those kind of decisions?
Sure, I think every game, there's a strategy involved, and every game is going to be played out differently. But you got to look at the flow of the game. You have to look at how they're moving the ball, how we're moving the ball, how the defense, what are the conditions outside. If we do go up to Buffalo, notorious city for inclement weather, if it's raining, if it's windy, etc. So all those factors are going to come into every decision we make. Whether it's being aggressive or conservative or whatever term you're talking about, we just have to make sure that we're in tune to whatever the situation may be. Of course, all those things can apply at any point in time. When you're going from third down, prepping for a fourth down on any side of the ball, any phase, those things are going to come up as we make those game management decisions. So,
all set.
That's good. Okay, see you in Buffalo.
Guys back you were missing because of injuries?
We're hoping. Had a little bit of time. They're getting better. So we're different without them. Those are 3 good football players that we need. They'll help us. We have a whole lot more success with them out there, but they're coming along, and hopefully that'll be the case.
Can you talk about how Joe Thomas played and what you think about him overall?
I think Joe did a good job. He's been in a backup position. When we initially brought Joe down here, he's going to compete, of course, for time, which he's done, but he was going to have a big special teams role, which he's had. Valuable guy to us. Did some good things last week.
What have you seen from Roy Lopez in his progression as a rookie?
He is, he's gotten better and better. Coming in as a rookie, you have an idea, but you need to see him on the football field. He impressed us early. I thought he would be a good run support player, which he has been. He has been a little bit better pass rusher than I thought as a nose. But he's done everything we've asked him to do. He's getting better and better. He's getting more and more reps, and he'll continue to get reps.
What stuck out to you as his pass rushing that surprised you?
Just that he can pass rush, and that's no knock against him, but it's just that in college he didn't have a lot of sacks, and he was more of a run defender in college. And, our nose guard is going to get double teamed an awful lot. You don't normally think of them as being a pass rusher, but it helps the more athletic ability you have.
Just to read back, playmaker.
Yes.
You guys overall as a defense?
Well, just in general, we gave us some big passes last game. But, Justin's one of our best defensive players, period. And he has ball skills. Just having him back in the secondary, of course, helps everything. So missing him, I took a big chunk out. But he stayed in the game. As I was, talking with John, hopefully, he'll be back there before long.
Coach, you all been preaching tackling, and you had some missed tackles in the last two games. How important will that be this week, especially going up against a quarterback who's mobile as Josh Allen?
Just talking about them offensively, it's a big challenge for us offensively. Josh Allen is as good a quarterback as there is in our game, in the league, playing in the National Football League right now. 3 excellent receivers, 2 good running backs, outstanding offensive line. So tackling is critical. It's critical each week. And you have to keep those, explosive plays to a minimum. And that normally says something about how you tackle and whether you get them down. Yards after contact. We didn't do as good a job as we need to last year in that area, but hopefully that'll be the case this week. But we're just pumped up about this game. And for me, on a personal note, too, I think there's about 6 other coaches on our staff that I've either worked with or known all my life, something like that. It's always fun when you get a chance to compete against guys that you kind of consider kind of like your brother a little bit.
Sam Darnold's a good runner. He gave y'all some problems. Allen's a good runner. What do you need to do against Allen you were unable to do against Darnold?
Well, I think most of it is when a quarterback runs, you got to have eyes on the ball. We're more of a zone team, which says that we should be able to handle those a lot better. Darnold he just did a super job of avoiding the rush and making timely plays. He was a better runner than I gave him credit for before we went into the football game. Josh Allen won't surprise us. We know what kind of athlete he is. He has excellent speed. He's a big target, and he likes to run. Of course, he's a passer, but they have design runs. We're going to see a quarterback draw some, different times of the game, and that's just a part of what we have to prep for to be ready for.
How do you feel about the amount of pressure you guys are able to generate with 4 right now?
I think the pressure's been good. Everything needs to be better. Pressure is a lot about coverage, too, making the quarterback hold the ball a little bit. It's about pressure and blitzes and things like that. We haven't been able to do everything that we like to right now, but I'm going to always say that, just like tackling, the pressure has to be better, and it will be better. It definitely can be better and will be better, and we'll see how it goes this week.
What have you noticed with what have you noticed with play recognition from your guys and like those zone styles, especially with quarterback runs, how quickly they see that?
I think everything the guys have done an okay job. But, we've lost 2 games. We haven't played our best ball yet. So nothing is at the standard we would like for it to do, for what we would like for it to be. Play recognition, all above that you're talking about. Not what it will be, but as time goes along, it should get better and better. It's a process. We're going through the process, and we need to see growth in all those areas this week.
Is it just
What do you
game?
see from John Grenard having missed a lot of time
He was productive when he played in the preseason, and I don't know exactly how many reps, but he probably think he got about as many reps as any of our defensive linemen this past week. He's exactly what we're looking for at the 6 technique position. He's big enough to play the run. He definitely has pass rush ability. He plays hard. Reps, same thing. You know, he's a young player that hadn't played a lot, but there's a reason why we're giving him more reps. I think he can help us if we go forward.
Coach, you talked about the receiving core of the Buffalo Bills. How hard is it to I guess, game plan for a player like Stephon Diggs who can, take you deep, but also for those slot receivers that can get in the flats and, make yards after catch?
I think that's just live in the NFL. For a cornerback and for a secondary, each week we're going to play outstanding football players. Our corners have that. They go against Brandon Cooks every day. He can do all the things you talk about. But for a player like Diggs you're talking about, he's a tough football player too. He's a confident football player, I might add. And I'm going to say that you can go into the slot, go to the other receiver position. It's a challenge for our guys, all 3 areas. Their receiving core is so good. I mean, they also play 4 time. And I haven't seen a team play a lot of 5 receivers, which they've done also. So be a big challenge. It's going to start up front with the pass rush, and hopefully we can keep the ball in front of us.
What is that
You
challenge?
said you brought in Cooks, and you see him every day in practice. Does he practice as hard as he plays? Is that what makes him so effective?
Absolutely. He is an outstanding competitor, outstanding player. You want a veteran player to show the other young players how to be a pro. He competes constantly, whether it's blocking. He's a receiver that can do it all. I've seen a lot of good ones, and I knew a lot about him before I got here. And to see him every day, I know exactly what he can do, and that's what he's been doing, every game he's played for.
How does that challenge your depth in the secondary when you go against a team that likes to play 5 wide receivers on occasion and 4 wide receivers with some frequency?
5 wide receivers will challenge anyone. Just think about it. If you match up, so 5 receivers, so say 5 corners. Most of the time you don't have 5 that you feel really good about. 5 receiver causes you to do some things. But at the same time, it limits offense a little bit too. There's you have 5 guys who's blocking. It's just 5 linemen. You kind of know that a little bit. So that protection part. And most time you go 5 wides, of course, the ball is coming out a little bit quick and things like that. So there's an advantage to it. There's also a disadvantage to it. And it's the reason why teams don't play 5 receivers every snap.
Coach, can you talk about the learning curve with Zach Cunningham? He's a real good run stopper, but he's been having some issues in coverage.
It's a process still. You say he's a young player that's a good football player, but he'll get better and better. His strong suit has been more geared toward run support, playing the run, making tackles, but I think it's another level that Zach can go to, and that's on getting his pass coverage skills, up on par with his tackling skills right now, and that'll happen. He'll get better and better as it goes along.
All set.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Games, what do you feel like you can do with him going forward with the offense? Do you think there's more that you can do with him?
Yeah. I think being able to go out there and he's proven that he can go out and handle the operation and make good decisions and protect the football. So, being able to go out there and continuing to find ways to score points is what we're going to try to do.
How much more responsibility?
Receiver like Cooks, how much can he help a young quarterback like that?
A lot. Obviously Brandon's done a great job the first 3 games here with his progression or production. And really that goes to how he prepares and how he practices each and every day. So he's out there, running hard Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, doing a good job of building that trust with the quarterback so the quarterback knows exactly where he's going to be, what he's going to do. There's never any doubt with that. So, when you have that type of trust between a quarterback and a wide receiver, it allows them to go out and produce the way that Brandon has over the past 3 weeks.
How would you like say how much more responsibility Davis Mills has at this point
Compared to what?
compared to last week?
Same amount of responsibility.
Coach, can you talk about the Bills' front seven and how dangerous they are?
Yes, it's a group that's well coached, that's very disciplined, that's going to play their technique. You've got established players. Jerry Hughes, obviously Ed Oliver's got some juice inside. Starr's big inside. He's a force. When he's playing on first and second down, you look at the puppy out of Miami, who's got some speed and the ability to bend the edge. So, with their defensive line, they've got a wide variety of guys that can come out and affect the game. And then with their two backers that don't come out the field, they are good athletes. They run sideline to sideline. And they'll make every tackle if you let them. So we got to do a great job making sure we're getting up there and covering those guys up, and really including their star Johnson in that too. More so than most than we played. He's incredibly active in the run game with his ability to come in and fit. It's almost like he's a mini linebacker. So they've got a very active front. Like I said, they're very disciplined. They're well coached, and they fly around.
The transition that Titus is making in position, what sort of challenges does he maybe see in these first 3 games that he doesn't quite get as much of a taste of in the preseason or in camp? With Titus, with the way that he prepared during camp, I felt like he's been as well prepared as he could have been. Obviously, when you're playing a new position for an extended period of time, each time you get out there, it's going to be somewhat of a learning experience. But I felt like Coach Camp's done a great job getting him prepared for everything that's coming his way.
Tim, how do you explain, in the past you guys struggled in the first quarter to score. You struggled in the first half, you outscored in the second half. Now you're getting off the bad start. You got the advantage in the first half. What's been the difference? How do you explain it?
Our guys have done a really, really good job of coming out, understanding the game plan, in really as simple as it sounds, is that we've done a better job executing. And as a coaching staff, we've done a better job of putting them in a position to execute. Over the past couple of years, going back and looking at it this off season, because obviously that was a big issue. I think we scored once last year in the opening drive in Jacksonville. Trying to figure out why that occurred. There's a wide variety of reasons, but we really focused on trying to eliminate the self-inflicted wounds that kind of plagued us in that opening drive over the past couple of years. And through 3 games, our guys have done a good job with that, particularly in the first quarter, not necessarily just the first drive, because obviously, last week we wanted to score, same deal against Jacksonville the opening week of the season. But our guys have done a good job being really locked in and focused on the game plan and coming out and executing.
Coach, during training camp, it seemed like the game was really fast for Mills. And now that he has been able to, play a game and a half, can you see the game starting to slow down for him a little bit more?
I think every time a rookie quarterback's going to take the field, you're going to see improvement from that standpoint. Especially considering the limited experience he had in college, coming out in training camp, and again, this wasn't a typical off season either. So a lot of times, he's getting adjusted to that speed during the spring. So with the certain circumstances, he was making those adjustments in August, and he's done a good job. Every time he's taken the field, you're seeing gradual improvements there in that area. So hopefully today we can go out there and take another step forward.
Tim, what is the challenge of knowing defense is going to focus on Cooks, but still trying to find ways to get him?
Yeah, it's fun, kind of, because it's going to come down to our ability to teach the game plan to him and allow him to be able to kind of embrace it and understand what exactly we're trying to do and what we're trying to get out of him. So, in my opinion, that's part of the challenge of coaching at this level, is kind of that chess game and having guys that are smart, as Brandon is, that can handle, different things along those lines, makes that part of it fun.
It seems like when we talk to players and coaches about Mark Ingram, they describe him as a leader. How do you see that leadership on a day-to-day basis?
The way Mark comes to work, comes to meetings, comes to practice, he attacks everything as opposed to just kind of being here and getting through. So, that's contagious, especially when you have a guy who's been doing it as long as Mark has, coming in and having that excitement to go out and, at practice and we were in full pads yesterday, coming out and doing what we're asking them to do and doing everything we're asking them to do and attacking it at 100 miles an hour. That type of thing is contagious, and just his personality, the way he kind of gets along with everybody, brings everybody together. It's been great having Mark in the room, and again, hopefully we can continue to kind of grow that culture that he's being a big part of, kind of instilling here.
What have you identified as kept the run game from being efficient so far?
A number of reasons. There have been times where we've been out leveraged, and I've got to do a better job at getting us into better plays. There have been times where we've missed blocks. There have been times where we've missed cuts. So, from every room, every position room, every coach's room upstairs, we all got to do a better job of just making sure we're eliminating those issues from happening.
Now that Anthony Miller's healthier, will he be used more in the game plan?
Ant's done a good job doing what we're asking him to do. He was able to come out and have some production for us the other night. And, again, hopefully he can come out and continue to play well.
All set. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.